Welcome to Dark Moon Cards and Games. Look for us on eBay and TCG Player, or if you want to shop for Pokemon singles without the added fees, follow the link in the description below to shop direct with us. All purchases over $5 direct from the Dark Moon Cards and Games website include free shipping. Hey you guys, this is Joel from Dark Moon Cards and Games, back with our second match from our Fincastle League challenge this past Sunday. Wanted to bring you this match because this gives you a look at something that you normally don't see. There's a lot of internet content with the sort of top tier decks. Just showing you those again and again doesn't really add anything in my opinion, but this one will at least let you look at a little different idea. This one brought to you by Logan, who will be seated on the right side of the screen on this match. Logan's going to be playing a Celebi and Venusaur GX deck, and there are lots of cards to probably explain to you in this one. A lot of them I don't imagine the standard player has probably looked at. We'll start off with the centerpiece of the deck. That's Celebi and Venusaur GX tag team. Has that pesky attack Pollen Hazard, does 50 damage, burns, confuses, and poisons you. That damage does not seem super strong, but it can add up, and the confusion, potentially making you miss your attack, can really swing a game. Solar Beam, its second attack, kind of standard vanilla-ish numbers. 4 energies, 150 versus Gardevoir, which is actually what he'll be facing in this match, doing the same damage but for 1 more energy, so nothing super exciting about that. It is sort of a finishing blow to damage that comes from Pollen Hazard. And then Evergreen GX, 180 damage, again not a great damage number, at least with these tag teams that have HP that has climbed so high. But again, it sometimes provides a finishing blow, and more importantly, it heals all damage from Celebi and Venusaur GX. And if you get that 5th energy on it, which I don't think this deck tries to achieve very often, it also shuffles all of your discard pile back into your deck, so you get to recycle everything. The second inclusion in the deck is the new tag team Venusaur and Celebi GX. Has a pretty cool ability, Shining Vine. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you attach a grass energy from your hand to it. You may switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active, so it's just a catching gust effect for an energy attachment. Probably weakest side of that is it does have to be active to do that. It'd be amazing if it could do that from the bench. Its first attack, Forest Dump, which, you live in Southwest Virginia, you've probably been there and done that. Pretty much like the other one, 160 damage, 4 energies. It's okay, not great. Now its GX move, Solar Plant GX, is also very interesting. This attack does 3 energies, it does 50 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. If you have at least 2 extra attached to it, so that means 5, it does heal all damage from all of your Pokemon. So it has an amazing effect. That energy cost is going to probably make it hard to achieve. But anyway, that's the other big guy in the deck. And these guys, or at least the Celebi Venusaur, not this Venusaur Snivy, unfortunately, gets a huge boost from buff padding, because it does have a 4 energy retreat cost. So with the buff padding attached, its HP gets a 50 HP boost, which jumps him all the way up to 320 HP. So that's massive in any terms. And also, this deck plays Weakness Guard energy, because obviously one of the biggest threats in the format right now is Reshiram Charizard. Reshiram Charizard attacking for weakness negates everything that Venusaur, Celebi Venusaur or Venusaur Snivy have. If it's getting hit for double damage, Weakness Guard Energy removes that, so at least makes it viable. And then following up those giant guys comes a little turtle, snail, whatever Shuckle is. But Shuckle in this deck is purely there to accelerate energies. Can be a great one to start with, and if not, it can be a good way to recover. If you can't get the energies out into your hand, you can use its Fresh Squeezed ability, which is when you play him onto your bench. You may search your deck for up to 3 energies and discard them. If you already have the energies in the discard pile, you can attach 2 energies from your discard pile to your Pokemon any way you like with Energy Drink. So he's a pretty functional little guy in any grass deck, but I think you'll probably see how he works in this. You also have Shaman. Shaman has the ability Floral Heal. Heal 20 damage from your active grass Pokemon. The bonus with that is that that ability is stackable, so if you get 2, maybe even 3 Shaman in play, every turn you can be healing off 20, 40, 60 damage. If you get a 4th one, 80. With these huge numbers that Celebi Venusaur already has, that again is just kind of crazy. Gardenia, supporter, just lets you heal 80 damage from one of your Pokemon that has grass energy attached to it. So all that kind of combines with the other things already in the deck to just keep negating any damage that you do to Celebi Venusaur. Then you have the new tag team Malo and Lana. First effect is switch your active, just a supporter version of a switch with one of your bench. But you also may discard 2 other cards from your hand. If you do, you heal 120 damage from the Pokemon you move to your bench. So yet another way to heal. And then I think Cynthia Caitlin is also in this deck. It's in the way to let you keep getting back the supporters like Gardenia, Malo and Lana. And then also provides some draw support. When you play this card, you may discard another card from your hand. If you do, you draw 3 cards. So those are not some typical inclusions in the format. You'll see all these guys in action. As Logan looks like he's finishing up his first turn. You see he just got down the Celebi Venusaur, and he got this Venusaur Snivy attached. Got some other cards in hand. And goes on to Richard, playing, again, Gardevoir Sylveon, open with the Xerneas GX. Just not exactly how you want to open that as well. It's usually not too much of a handicap. Xerneas is there for its GX move that allows you to move the damage from all of your benched Pokemon, or all of your Pokemon, I believe. It's Sanctuary GX. And it's damage from all of your Pokemon to your opponent's active, so it heals everybody on your side and can provide some pretty massive damage. And off of the greens, looks like Richard's taking Energy Spinner, Tag Call, uses Tag Call to get the 2 Gardevoir Sylveons, Energy Spinner. Just when you go second, lets you get the 3 energies, otherwise it's just 1. So go ahead and get the 3. Benches both of the Guardians and attaches, switches, and we'll get the first turn of Fairy Song. Got a Chaotic Swell in there, which will pretty much negate any stadiums from Logan's side for the game. Not a huge fan of that card. That's not a big proponent of banning cards, but of the ones I've seen lately that needs to go, that one seems to be pretty high on my list anyway. It pretty much makes stadium play from anything else useless, but I guess we'll see how that plays out in the format. You got the 2 energies attached. Back to Logan. Like I said, these decks don't do a whole lot in the first opening turns. They do take some setup. Both decks are designed to tank and heal. Logan played the Bill's Analysis. Looks like he took a Guzma Hala and a Mixed Herb. The 2 Mixed Herbs can let you heal all conditions and heal 90 damage. I think just playing 1 lets you lets you negate a special condition. get his second energy attachment for his turn. And I believe that is a pass back to Richard. So Richard will play that Cynthia and Caitlin. You discard 2, you do get to draw 3 with that, as well as get a supporter back. Still deciding the next action here. I think I'll tag switch 2 to the active Gardevoir Sylveon. Attach return to the bench. Looks like going to attack with Kaleidostorm for 150 damage, and then allows you to move energy from your Pokemon to your other Pokemon any way you like. So pretty much you can rearrange your board however you choose. It's going to move down to the bench Gardevoir Sylveon, keeping 1 on the active. And back to Logan, who's going to play 2 mixed herbs, take 90 of that 150 off. Playing the Guzmahala to discard 2. I'll let you search out special energy and a stadium and a tool. I forget which. Yes, lets you get all 3. Yes, gets all 3 of them. Attaches the weakness card energy and that buff padding, driving Celebi Venusaur on up to that just nasty 320 HP. Unfortunately, he took the Life Forest Stadium there, but again, Chaotic Swell just, I guess you could play that to knock a Chaotic Swell out, and then you lose your Life Forest as well. So he will, Logan will attack with Pollen Hazard to do the 50 damage. And get the burn, confusion, and poison. And Richard flips to see if the burn stays, and it does. So he keeps all 3 conditions as it comes back to his turn. Neither side here really has the ability to take any kind of massive one-shot. They have to at least 2-hit everything. And with all this healing. Speaking of which, there goes a great potion to take 50 off of the active. Play greens, get 2 trainers of any sort. So thinking about the choice helmet. Get a venture bag, I guess will allow him to get more than 1 helmet if he plays. Not sure what his counts of tools are. Looks like Adventure Bag and Energy Spinner. I'm just gonna try to conserve a little time there and go ahead and play the bag. Grabbing 1 choice helmet. Yeah, going in and grabbing 2. The other tools in the deck are the Fairy Charms, which don't have any effect in this match. And then he's going to take the energy with the Energy Spinner. Those choice helmets are going to deal, or drive the base damage that Logan could deal down by 30. It's going to make this even harder to achieve any kind of 2 hits. We'll attach to the benched Gardevoir Sylveon, switch the active one back to the bench. And is going to Kaleidostorm again, removing all energy off of the active. Dealing the 150 to Logan, which immediately 90 of that goes away again with 2 mixed herbs. So that is his allotment of those. He only played 4 in the deck, and he's played all 4. Follow that by Gardenia for another 80 damage off, so he's back to just 40 damage of that 320 that Richard's trying to climb to. And he's going to Pollen Hazard for the 50 and conditions again, which actually is 30 with that choice helmet. It goes to 50 with the burn. The burn stays on the tails coin flip. And it looks like Richard is setting up with all the energy on the Gardevoir to use its GX move. Before he can do that, he's got to switch out of the active, so Mallow and Lana, discarding 2, will allow him to do that, fully healing that Gardevoir, bringing forth that one with the extra energy, and we'll use that GX move. Magical Miracle does 200 damage, and with the extra energy, Logan has to shuffle his hand into his deck, so he will be to a 0 card hand, and then just 1 card after when he starts his turn, so he's going to have to hope for a good top deck. As we get into over 15 minutes of this match, still no prize cards taken, but Richard's in position to take 3. Depending on what happens here and what Logan can draw. Drew a nest, the net ball. Gets that grass energy, which will allow him to stay in the game and heal all 180 off with his GX move, which he looks like he's choosing to do. Doesn't get the added advantage of all of the discard pile getting recycled. It takes 1 more energy to do that, but it does 180 damage, I guess 150 with that choice helmet, and takes Logan back to no damage at all. It's a pretty good top deck, or at least one to keep him going here. He's still going to need something else. Pokegear from Richard to take a Cynthia. As we're waiting for the shuffle there, this is a league challenge game. This is just a single 30-minute game. So it looks like we're heading fast towards a tie. It's not a definite yet, but getting pretty deep into this game with just basically these 2 guys bouncing off of each other. Richard's playing the greens. Burning probably a little bit too much time on deciding what to take there, which again is going to drive us closer to that tie. Looks like taking a great potion. And a tag call. With a tag call, we'll take a Mallow Lana. Glare's got me that looks like a Cynthia Caitlin. I believe that's what the other card is there. I believe that was the Guzmahala. So I believe he played the Great Potion, took 50 off. Let's go into Kaleidostorm for 150 back to Logan, and maybe try to set up that, well, it moves energy to Xerneas, but can't use that GX move now because he's already GX moved off of Gardevoir Sylveon. So see, Logan is just didn't have much to do from his hand. He's doing Solar Beam for 150 of that Choice Helmet, reduces it to 120. I think I missed that knockout by 10 damage, I believe. Yes. 250 damage to that 260 HP Gardevoir Sylveon. So it'd been a miscalculation, Logan not thinking of the helmet there. So gonna Mallow Lana, take 120 of that back off. Bring up the fresh Gardevoir Sylveon. And going to Kaleidostorm for 150. Let's see. Driving that Celebi Venusaur to 280 damage. So it would normally be knocked out at this point, but that buff padding keeps it alive. Top Tech at Pokegear, which is definitely a what you want to see when you have no cards in your hand. I take Coach Trainer, which with the active tag team in the active spot will allow him to draw 4. Don't think he's going to be able to get this damage back down unless he gets maybe a switch or something. Shaman can take 20 of that away, even if he gets a couple more Shaman. He's not going to be able to get it out of that 150 damage range. So we'll see what he gets on the Coach Trainer. The tag call. So you can get 2 tag team cards, Mallow Lana, and a fresh Celebi Venusaur. I'm going to bench that with a buff padding attached to it as well. Play the Netball. You can get one of these, another grass Pokemon or an energy. And that is a Shuckle sitting there just slightly off the screen. He hasn't put it into play yet. So when you do play it from your hand, you get that choice of discarding energy. I think at this point, don't think this deck runs a huge amount of energy, so probably not wanting to do that. Yeah, so the Shuckle stays in his hand, and he is going for the Pollen Hazard again, which with the burn takes him to 50 damage. Gets the confusion on those, so, and the burn stays. So Richard will have to, if he wants to attack with that active one, we'll have to at least flip a coin before the attack goes through. I'm going to search out another Gardevoir Sylveon and then Cynthia. So no Mallow Lana this turn. He's going to have to switch out or pay the retreat cost to get out of these conditions anyway. not really making any plays, which again is just not helping either player here, as we're over 20 minutes into this game, and no prize cards taken. The extra long decisions are kind of making that tie almost seem inevitable. But I guess he's trying to decide whether to attack with that confused Pokemon or not, which again he's got to flip before he can pull that off. A successful attack obviously will get him halfway there, take 3 prizes. If it stays active, I don't know if it'll be in range. I think it'll be close after Poison and Burn. Definitely going a little too far on that decision-making time. I think that's the rules outline that somewhere around 15 seconds. We're going over a minute, it looks like. Gonna pay the retreat cost. I guess didn't want to try that gamble coin flip and attack with the confused Pokemon this way. Xerneas attacks for 120 damage, which will achieve the knockout. It's looking like playing a fairy tool. Opted not to, does take the knockout, takes 3, and probably in a little of a tight spot there with energy. As I know Gardevoir Sylveon does not play a lot. Don't think it has any means of recovery for energy, so you can't tag switch off of Xerneas. He's not a tag team. Maybe locked into attacking with the Xerneas for a few turns. Hopefully not for the game, but we'll see. And Logan had no energy attachments, so just passes the turn. They get that second Shaman down. Sets up a little more healing. Does have an energy in hand. He attached to the 50 damage Gardevoir Sylveon, and then attacks with Xerneas for 120. I think it's going to take, with the healing Logan has, will take 4 turns of attacking with Xerneas to knock out Celebi Venusaur. And gets that Shuckle down. Did not, I think he searched with that ability, but did not discard any energy. Going to attach a grass, use Malolana to heal the damage off Celebi Venusaur, and then we'll use the Mighty Shuckle's attack to attach 2 grass energies back to Celebi Venusaur. Almost back to square one on Logan's side. Like I said, I think Richard seems to be locked into this Xerneas for a turn. He does have another energy in hand there. Looks like he's playing a Lucamine. Guess maybe looking to get a Malolana, another switch and heal supporter back. Get 2 back on Lucamine. We'll see if we can see when they get picked up there. You see one's a Malolana. I think it was actually 2 of them. Yeah. So 2 of those. Got a great catcher on top there. Maybe that's what he's thinking. I'm gonna discard. Gotta discard 2. And toss a Power Plant and a Gardevoir Sylveon to bring out that Venusaur Snivy. I guess maybe thinking if you can keep him trapped active, maybe you can finish it off with the Xerneas. Tag Call is going to answer that question with a no, as there's a Mallow Lana there, as well as Cynthia Caitlin. Uses the Shaman to go ahead and heal 20 off, or no, he healed 40 off of the active. Lieutenant Surge, which will give him two more supporters that he can play this turn. You just have to discard with that to get the full effect, to get the card back and draw two. So a discard, take back a Mallow Lana and draw 3. Looks like he did get a third energy. Still has that third supporter that he can play. That Pokegear takes a Lusamine. Gonna play that Mallow Lana, switch, and actually just switch, not heal. Didn't have the cards to discard, I don't believe, on that one. Gonna play the Netball, get another Grass Energy. And then here comes Pollen Hazard, 50 damage, which will jump to 80 with the Burn and Poison. And Confusion. And I think that's the first time he's flipped the Burn away, so I'm sure he's relieved for that one. Poison stays, Confusion stays. See a weakness guard energy there. In that search for the Pokegear, which looks like he's just failing. Peeking at his hand there, looks like that might be the only energy he has left. No energy in hand. Which means that Xerneas goes down, this game is just about done. Or it would be done, I guess, if it was 2 out of 3 format where you had more time. You're driving very close towards that 30-minute mark now. It's definitely over 25. So searching on the greens, again, no energy visible outside of that weakness guard one. I'm going to take Tag Call and Reset Stamp. Looks like he's maybe just holding the Reset Stamp for now. Logan still has 6 prizes left, so no benefit to playing that one yet. Again, if he's going to attack with the Xerneas, he does have to successfully flip a heads, as it is still confused. Appears to be the only Pokemon capable of attacking. He's going to give it a whirl. And so he tries the attack, does go through. Successful coin flips, 120 damage. And Logan's going to use the 2 Shamans off the bat to remove 40 of that, taking him back to 80. Play Lusamine for Lieutenant Surge and a Cynthia Caitlin. He gets the 4th energy attachment, which will allow him the Solar Beam knockout, taking out the Xerneas, but more importantly, those 3 energies. That puts Richard in a pretty solid bind. And as he plays the reset stamp, time is being called. So that is the 30-minute point of the match. It's going to send them into turns. As it's in the middle stages of Richard's turn, he will be turn 0. Meaning that Logan will have turn 1 and 3. It'll be pretty impossible to take 4 prizes from it the way it looks on the board at the moment, especially with that Malolana. He's going to be able to discard heal 120 off. I think at this point it's not trying to win, just staying alive. Settling for the tide, it appears. And passes to Logan, so he starts on turn 1. Again, he can heal back with the Shaman, another turn of that with no attacks, and he will be all the way back to a fresh Celebi Venusaur, but not much else that he can do on this turn as well. So he will Solar Beam for 150. Going back to turn 2 for Richard. Like I said, whether or not he can get this guy out of the way, if Logan can knock it out even on the next turn, that still doesn't end the game, and that's the last turn of the game. There's another Malolana. Again, just discarding to heal 120. Come up with the Choice Helmet Gardevoir Sylveon. It'll be able to survive whatever Logan does. That comes back to turn 3 for Logan. To tag call. Heals off the damage with Shaman, so he is back to a fresh one. Tag call took the Cynthia Caitlin, I guess. I'm going to switch to the Celebi Venusaur and use its ability for the first time this game. Gust up the energy-less Gardevoir Sylveon. Then Cynthia Caitlin to just get back a Lucamine. Or to get back Malolana, either way. Looks like he's going Lucamine. I don't think it's gonna matter in the end. And ends turn, passes his turn. That's the game. Does end in a tie. So that was a something interesting to watch. So we end up in a tie. This was in the last round of the challenge. So basically just knocked both players, Richard and Logan, out of a chance at top 4 points. I don't believe there's a top cut in this one. The deck like Celebi Venusaur is interesting one to consider. Best 2 of 3 scenario, in this match at least. Yeah, appears it's pretty obvious Logan would have won the match. Not relevant considering that this was a challenge, but maybe something to consider. The regional format is best 2 of 3. A deck like this basically makes each one of those matches at a regional at best of 1. There's no way playing a deck like this that you're going to finish 2 or 3 games. Takes so much time to grind out 1. Pretty much the outcome of that match is probably going to of that single game is going to decide the match. That being said, probably not the ideal deck for a challenge, but provides an interesting look. Not exactly a stall deck, but definitely a wall deck. A deck that can really eat away at you. It can definitely eat away at you with the conditions. All of these new tag team cards provide some extra switching and healing, which kind of works against the strength of Celebi Venusaur. Probably have to test this out a little bit just on our own turf and see how it would fare against a Charizard deck with that weakness guard energy. I don't know. Charizard is still so fast. Whether or not it would be able to with a little bit slower setup, keep up with a deck like that. So we wanted to give you a look at something that just wasn't your standard standard match that you'll see on any other channel. So I hope you enjoyed looking at this one. We will be following this video up with a few product reviews and features. In the upcoming weeks, we are off to Louisville SuperCon this weekend. We may not get any of that content posted until after we return, but we'll have some looks at some other boxed products that we have, and hopefully some more items from Japan. So check back with us soon, and until the next time, we'll see you at the gym. Thanks for watching today's video. Please support our channel by liking this video and subscribe so that you'll be the first to see our next presentation. See you at the Fincastle Pokemon Gym or at a show coming to your city.